Hello, everyone. I need to rant because there is something that is basically pushing me to a breaking point in Paladins Champions of the Realm, and that is the infuriating game design of one particular champion. And I think you probably already know who that champion is. And that is Seven. We need to talk about Seven. I am so done with this character. He is a case of terrible game design, and I don't think he can ever be balanced without a full rework. He is overpowered. He has been overpowered since release, and if you think he's not too strong, you're joking, right? You're lying to yourself. You're wrong. Seven is not balanced. The gameplay behind me right now, the gameplay on your screen, is me playing Seven on Brightmarsh. I played Seven on stream to show what it's like to actually play a real match of Seven, because apparently the only version of Seven I'm allowed to play when I do Champion Requests is Overcharged Seven, which is a joke. But no, playing real Seven with hypermobility, a good build, all that, you can see the war crimes that are possible with this character. This champion design is terrible, and I kind of just wish he would rot for a few patches, being absolute trash, because he's just been so infuriating for so long. And I know that's very emotional of me to say. It's not a rational way to balance the character, I know, but it's just how I'm feeling right now. Because I have to play against Seven basically every time I stream for at least 50% of the matches. He's everywhere. He's everywhere, man. If it's a good map for Seven, he shows up. If it's a bad map for Seven, less so. But on the maps where he's good, he's not just good, he's overpowered. You try and play against the Seven on Timbermill and tell me that that character is balanced. He is not. This level of mobility is literally game-breaking. It is game-breaking, right? The difference between Seven and the next most mobile character in the game, Vatu, is night and day. Seven can run laps around Vatu. And when Seven didn't exist, Vatu was the most mobile character in the game. But guess what? Maeve and Eevee could still keep up with him. Because Vatu actually respects the boundaries of the map. He still has to dash around walls, and, his dashes don't send him halfway across the map with one dash. Unless you use a bug with Treacherous Ground, but Maeve can also exploit that, so, that's a bug, that's not the point. Seven doesn't give a crap. You can see in this gameplay right now, I don't know if it's already played, or if it's going to come up here in a second, but I can literally traverse from my spawn to the enemy team's spawn in 3 seconds flat. Like I have Master Riding 7, and can fly over the entire map. I can fly over the entire map with this character. How is that fair? It's not fair, that's the point. You should not have a character who is allowed to go from his spawn to the enemy team's spawn that quickly, ignoring every obstacle in his path so he can end up behind people when they least expect it. Like, that is just absurd. I know he doesn't have that many defenses, but you don't need defenses when you straight up can't be hit, because you can just leave whenever the hell you want. And then, here's the other part of the bad game design of Seven, right? Which is why I think he can't be balanced in his current state. He is a hit scan. Hit scan does not belong on a high mobility character. They understood this with Vatu, alright? You need to put a projectile on someone who has that much mobility, and the reason for that is because projectiles are inherently worse at range than hit scans, because with projectiles, you have to predict where the enemies are going, and the farther away they are, the harder it is to do that, exponentially so. If you hit someone 100 meters away with Eevee, you deserve to hit that shot. That's a skillful shot. If you want to hit someone 100 meters away with Seven, it's as simple as clicking on them. And he has such an insane fall-off curve that he actually has better range, I feel, than Victor, Tyra, and Octavia on the character who has so much mobility that he can run laps around all the other mobile characters in the game combined. That is not okay. And even if they do nerf his range, he's still a hit scan. Like, you would have to nerf his range down to, like, sky levels in order to make it somewhat reasonable. But then, honestly, he might be bad. You cannot balance him with this kit. It's inherently bad game design, and it goes against the rules of what high mobility flanks should be, right? High mobility flanks can have high mobility, but they shouldn't just tear through time and space to traverse the map. And they should have projectiles. Eevee, Maeve, and Vatu, they are all very strong characters in their own right. Vatu is the strongest character, or the strongest flank on keyboard and mouse. Eevee is really strong. Maeve is really strong in the right hands. But they all feel so much less oppressive to play against than 7, even if a Vatu were to actually do better, because 7 breaks the game in this way. Even if he's not technically the strongest flank in Paladins history right now, that doesn't mean that his kit is healthy. It is still too strong in those areas, and that makes him oppressive and infuriating to fight against in a way that all these other mobile characters simply aren't. Eevee is balanced, and 7 is not. I don't care if you disagree with me, because you are wrong. Eevee cannot do what 7 does. No flank can do what 7 does. And it also requires much less skill to do what 7 does than what it does to do what Eevee does, right? Eevee takes more skill than 7. Maeve takes more skill than 7. Vatu takes more skill than 7. Because they're all projectiles, and they all don't have get-out-of-jail-free cards in the same way that 7 does. And 7 also, by the way, sometimes he doesn't even need those get-out-of-jail-free cards, because he can just latch to a wall that's 50 meters up in the sky and just start sniping. His range allows him to do that, and by breaking the map in this way, right, by just latching wherever the hell you want, it makes it very, very hard to actually predict him and even tell where he's coming from, right? You might just be hearing burst mode shots and taking a bunch of damage, and you have no idea where he is, because he doesn't have to respect the platforms that the map provides, right? Eevee can't do that. Vatu can't do that. Maeve can't do that. They still have to touch the ground. And even Drogo's, right? He is able to fly up in the sky in the same way, but he can't traverse across the map in 3 seconds, right? He doesn't have a dash that sends him flying at 10 miles an hour. Or not 10 miles an hour, that'd be really slow. 100 miles an hour. And he's also really large, and he's a projectile, by the way. And he also makes a really, 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 really loud noise. And it's not the same dynamic. And so this character, I am just so done with dealing with this guy. It's gotten to the point where I'm facing him so much now that I am dreading even starting up Choose My Champion stream. I honestly am probably going to play ranked more, because at least I don't have to go against 7 players. And if I do encounter a stream sniper playing 7, guess what? I can ban him. And that way I don't have to play against him. I don't care if it's not the best ban. It's a ban, and I'm allowed to ban whatever the heck I want, and so I'm going to ban 7 if I'm getting stream typed by 7, right? It's a way for me to avoid the torture that is playing against this character. And so, yeah, the emotional part of me right now really, really wants this character to die. Just completely be ineffective until he can be reworked. Because this character is not healthy for this game. This is what happens when you don't heed good design philosophy. You try to bend the rules and end up snapping them in half and creating a character that nobody likes to play against. It's hard for me to even want to play 7, because while I will admit it is fun pretending to be Spider-Man and clearing across the map in 3 seconds, if you have a conscience, it's hard to enjoy it when you realize that you're being a toxic jerk to the victims on the enemy team. That Brightmarsh game was not fun. It was mean. I felt mean. So, yeah, I had to make this rant video. I have to get this off my chest. It's gotten to a point where I am just infuriated, and I hope he gets nerfed soon, man. I hope he gets nerfed soon. I would love it if they would take a look at my rework idea. But honestly, that's a lot of work. How about we just, like, I don't know, remove terror instead? Call it a day. God. I wish 7 didn't exist. All these 7-mans would just play Vora instead, and Vora's actually a well-designed character. God. Alright. Well, I'm going to leave you with a clip. This is honestly the clip that inspired me to make this video. It's not anything special, it's just the straw that broke the camel's back, on top of I don't even know how many times I played against 7 in this stream. But yeah, I'll leave you with that. Thank you guys for watching, and yeah. Oop, didn't hit the stickies, hit the kunai though. Oop. Hey, let's go. Oh, Stealthy's there. I think Stealthy wants a rematch. Yeah, Saris, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Yeah. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I'm ready. I swear to Almighty Azan.
An enemy is unstoppable. Enemy double kill.
That was even the point. That was even the point, man.
Show them.
I'm done. I'm done. Too much 7. Too much 7 today. Here we go. I'm done.